Our every woman, Etta B. Duncan Rowell, Edie, was born on April 8, 1932. She is the daughter of the late Etta and Purvis Duncan, and the granddaughter of the late John William Duncan, born 1861, and his wife, Henrietta Bluette Duncan, who was born in 1866. Edie was the first child of her mother, Etta, but the fourth child of her previously widowed father, Purvis. Thus, at birth, she already had two older sisters, the late Rebecca Duncan Starks and the late Mary Virginia Duncan Ray, and one older brother, the late Thomas Duncan. Her family grew to include one brother who passed in infancy in 1936, Damian Duncan, and her baby sister, the late Perva Lou Duncan Hudson. She met her best friend, the late Camilla McClung Morris, in the 9th grade. Her grandfather, John, grew up on a plantation without his mother, who was sold before his eyes. He encouraged Edie to get an education, and she exceeded his expectations by graduating from State Street High School at the top of her class in 1949. Soon thereafter, Edie married and ultimately moved further up 65, north to Louisville, Kentucky. She wasn't finished with her education yet. During the days, Edie worked keeping children, and at night, she developed her gifts as a full-time student at the Forrest O'Bannon Trade School. She studied business and later earned degrees in both barbering and cosmetology. She ended her schooling at Forrest O'Bannon, where she returned for teaching certificates in the field she had mastered. In 1953, Edie gave birth to her only child, Sandietta Turner, now known as Sandra French. Soon thereafter, utilizing the trades and skills she had developed at Forrest O'Bannon, Edie began teaching both barbering and cosmetology at Tucker's Barber and Beauty College located in the heart of Louisville's thriving Parkland neighborhood. There, she trained a plethora of local salon owners and barbers, including May Palmer and her best friend, Miss Clark, who owned Orangettes, and the late Roger Dry and Jimmy Means, among others. Edie developed long-standing friendships at Tucker's, including those with fellow instructors, the late Ella Mae Grady, and the school's owner, Willa Mae Tucker. Edie also became friends with the late May Palmer, whose daughter, Maureen Palmer Mathis, Edie loved and loves like her own daughter. After Tucker's closing in 1962, Edie forged a career in the federal government. First, she worked as a temporary typist for the IRS. Then she worked for the post office. Finally, she joined the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, ultimately earning the position of contract negotiator in procurement, from which she would retire. Along the way, she made other connections through the National Council of Negro Women and the Federally Employed Women. She also became a member of the NAACP. In 1970, Edie fell in love with and married a United States Army serviceman, Sergeant Willie Rowell. And in 1973, her first grandchild, the late Undwele L. French, the first of her 4 grandchildren, was born. Edie's daughter, Sandra, married the late Leon D. French on December 2, 1978, and immediately Edie gained a son she didn't give birth to. She also took on a brand new family, Reverend Thomas H. and Virginia G. French, Leon's parents, and Leon's sister, Linda French Smith. Undwele enjoyed being the only grandchild for 8½ years, but he was followed in pretty quick succession by first granddaughter, Asha, in 1982, grandson Ahmed in 1984, and grandson Akeem in 1986. In 1995, Hope Amani Smith was born to Linda and her husband, Herb, and in her eyes, Edie took on yet another grand. Edie and Willie adored the grandchildren, traveling and vacationing with them often. Edie has been there to support every milestone the French grands have accomplished. There were lows as well, and Mama has gone through each valley with the family, always supporting and encouraging. She is the ultimate grand great to her great-grands, Ariel, born January 10, 2009, Angelia, born May 4, 2009, Asali, born October 25, 2010, Undwele II, born February 15, 2011, Azari, born August 29, 2019, and Amai, born December 3, 2019. Edie developed lasting friendships at Spillman Memorial Church, FKA Metropolitan Community Methodist Church. She lovingly referred to Spillman member, the late Mildred Neal, as her other mother, and other friendships Edie developed at Spillman have been lifelong as well. During a membership which has lasted nearly her entire adult life, Edie has served as a Spillman trustee, choir member, and choir officer, and participated regularly with the Fellowship of Choirs, comprised of choirs of most of the long-standing congregations around the city of Louisville. She remains an active Spillman member and, prior to the pandemic, regularly participated in church activities, including women's Bible study and Sunday school. Thank you for helping us celebrate our every woman, Edie Duncan Rowell.